Mission begins in 10 seconds.
Oh god, that means we got a hacker. Yep, okay. Alright, now we got that cheater out of the way. We're just gonna go in, just ordinary live commentary. The other team seems to be a little bit discouraged after that cheater. But it's okay. We can do this. It's like, what do you say? Like, what do you do after that? It's my first game in 3 months. You walk in, there's a cheater. I don't... Like, what can you say? Hey guys doing, TF2's here, and judging from the title of the video, you already know what I'm going to talk about, you know why we're here, so let's get down to the chase. So recently, I've been straying away from TF2, not because it's getting stale, granted it probably will get stale over time, but because of all the script kiddies and aimbotters that I run into. And so I've got 2 stories that I'd like to tell you. First one is actually today. Today's video was originally going to be this great, funny, little thing I've been whipping up for quite some time, and I had to put it on the back burner because, I kid you not, I boot up TF2, and the first thing that happens, the first game I get into, there is an aimbotter on our team. And it makes you think, well, okay, you can kick him, right? So I kicked him, but even then, I was just like, I was so out of steam from the fact the very first game I joined in 2 months has a script kiddie in it. Now backtrack 2 months to my last game of TF2. I was playing TF2 with some friends, real-life friends who honestly never played TF2 before. They think the game's a meme. And granted, they can think what they want, I don't care, but I wanted to get them into TF2, I wanted to show them TF2, and they were rather competitive people. So I was like, okay, what's the best way? Well, I'll try Face It. Turns out we didn't have enough hours, so I was like, alright, we'll pub for a bit, so we pubbed, we were having a great time. Then finally one person's like, alright, well this is great and all, but I'd like to try matchmaking, I'd like to get competitive. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh god, I know for a fact if we boot up matchmaking, I know for a fact, we boot it up, we're going to get in with so many hackers, it's not going to be fun. And we're just going to have to sit along for a 5-minute roll, where we just can't fight back against these hackers. So, we do just that, we boot up matchmaking. And in advance, I'm going to say, you can combat hackers if you're a coordinated enough team, but remember, these people only ever played CSGO, Overwatch, they've never really played TF2 before. On our team stack of maybe like, I want to say 5, I think we might have had 6, but the only experienced people were me, our medic, and a scout, just aim-wise, not game sense-wise. So we didn't really have what it took to really beat these hackers. So we launch up matchmaking, and our very first game, not only is there one hacker, their entire enemy team is hackers. So that's 6 hackers on their team. I think actually, in retrospect, we were only in a 4 stack, so there were 2 hackers on our team. We were the only people in the entire match that were not hacking. So, I guess what I'm trying to say is, the last time I played TF2 before today, I stopped playing because I was busy because of school, but because I wanted to show my real-life friends TF2, because I love it. This game is just amazing. When I showed them TF2, their very first impression was hackers. They were like, oh wow, this game is stupid, like, why do you play that? Like, they brought TF2 down, like, just from seeing this one toxic experience, they brought TF2 down from maybe, like, my hypothetical 10 out of 10, all the way down to, like, a 2. They got the appeal, but they just thought, like, okay, this game's a dead game, and these hackers really just show that. And it got me thinking, alright, well, Bandy's holding out for TF2 to take off, it's gonna be great, it's gonna be amazing, but I think we as a community need to actually stop ignoring the elephant in the room. And granted, we can complain about it all we want, we can do whatever, but the thing is, whether or not we want to admit it, we are willingly letting hackers exist within the community. The other day on Reddit, there was a giant casual ban wave, and the person who posted it, they were like, oh, look at all these hackers, they're all banned, look at all this, look. But the thing is, all the screenshots they had, it ended up being 2,000 games that were ruined by this hacker. And so in the TF2 Discord, if you don't know, there is one, he was bragging about it. He's like, oh yeah, I just use this alt to script sometimes, I find it fun, whatever. So he used an alt to get to 150 in casual, to ruin 2,000 games, made it all the way to 18 in matchmaking, ruined all those games. And to him, that was just it was just for fun. And so, I'm not trying to throw anyone under the bus, but there were mods in the TF2 subreddit, mods in the Discord, that saw this and didn't do anything. Maybe it's not against the rules, maybe it's, well, why didn't they do something? That's what I don't understand. These people are actively ruining the game. We're all just kind of ignoring it. Like, sometimes people kick hackers, sometimes people go on these, like, tirades, whatever you want to call it, but I think the hacking problem has reached a boiling point. We need to do something. We need to, like, talk to Valve. We need to make it aware that it's not the staleness. I mean, it could be, but to me at this point, it's not the staleness. I could go another, like, 6 months without an update and I would be fine. As long as the hackers, if all the hackers just disappeared today, honestly, the game would have new life for me. Like, right now, I'm done with TF2 until the hacking problems. Like, I can't stand it. I tried to show my friends it. They didn't like it because the hackers gave a terrible impression. The matchmaking is, I mean, what are you going to do? Needs improvements, but for me, the thing that's killing TF2 for me is just all these hackers, and it's the fact that we're actively letting them just... The thing that hackers get out of it is just, like, the ruse they get from people. It's like, they're literal internet trolls. Like, you want to go, like, back to 2008, like, Trollface, XD, all that stuff. The reason why they like it is because they like getting rage and anger out of people. But the thing is, when we give this, like, rage and anger, that's what they want. But the one thing we're not doing is we're not acting against it. Like, I guess my whole point with this video is I want to tell you guys why TF2 is starting to just... I'm losing my interest in it because of these hackers. But also because we're just letting them get away with it. Like, we're complaining at them, but they're actively in, like, the TF2 Discord. They're actively in the subreddit, and we're not doing anything. Maybe there's not a rule, but perhaps there should be. Because if you willingly let this, like, tumor kind of grow, like, I don't really know how to finish this, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, 2 months ago when I last played TF2, I stopped because of hackers. I booted it up for the first time in 2 months today to record a video that would have been fun, would have been awesome, and I will get to it. But I had to stop because the very first game, I kid you not, the very first game I played had a hacker. And granted, yes, I did kick him, but you saw my reaction at the beginning of the video. I didn't know where to go from there. It's like, you boot up a game, you're expecting to have a great time, there's a hacker. Like, what do you do? What do you say? It just winded me. I guess that's why I'm making this video. This could have been the longest ramble ever. Definitely not the video I wanted to come back to making videos with, but I had to say it, had to be done. And funnily enough, the rest of this footage is like 3 months old at this point because TF2 hasn't been updated since then, so I can use it. And also because I just don't have the Steam to play a game because there's going to be hackers, I just know it. Maybe I'm unlucky, maybe it's an East Coast thing, maybe it's the times I play. But every time I roll the dice in playing TF2, I just feel really unlucky. So, that's just, I guess, what I wanted to say. I didn't want to bring any vibes down. I'm just... End goal. The reason why I took a break from TF2 was school and all these hackers, and I think the community should actively combat these hackers. Not a witch hunt, but just suppress maybe the outlet of being able to brag. Because that's kind of what they strive for. And this video probably will feed them to an extent. But I guess this last thing is to the hackers. When you look back at TF2, when it finally does croak, when it does give its last breath, I just want you to know that, although you might find this funny, although you probably won't care, you definitely contributed to ruining the game for a lot of people. And that's probably what you wanted, but I just hope that you will be content with yourselves in the future. So I guess that's my little word for the hackers. So, as always, guys, I don't really know what to say. Like, I'm still kind of winded from that. Just 10 minutes ago, I booted up the game. Hackers stopped, made this instead. So hopefully, if you did stick around, you do get what I'm trying to say. I will answer any comments if you have any questions. But that will be that. I will see you guys all in a future video. So take care.